afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture, just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, we're going to do something a little different from our channel. We're going to review the trailer for the next episode. I was going through Peacock and found that they have trailers for the next episode for Bel Air. So what we're going to do is we're going to review this trailer, give our thoughts and predictions of the next episode. And also what I want to do is to go back and talk about what my predictions are going to be for the characters coming up to the season finale. And then after we do the season finale, we're going to do a whole big breakdown of the season, what we think about the season, and what we predict is going to happen in the second season, because Peacock green-lighted 2 seasons for this. So let's do this, honey. Let's see what's going on. So as the trailer comes on, we see old police chief Cheater. Now, I did do something. I said I was going to get their names right. So if you see, I wrote down their names and got their names right to see who they are. So as it comes on, we see Fred Wilkes talking to Lisa, his daughter, and explaining to her that she needs to pull back from the Smiths. Well, not the Smiths. They're not the Smiths, are they? What is Yamacrodum's last name? Let me go back. Banks. He's telling her to pull back from the Banks family because, he's running now. If we learned at the last episode that he decided that he was going to run for DA against Philip Banks. So he's telling Lisa to pull back from the Banks family so that he can definitely run. Now, we'll get into him in a minute. Let's continue on. So we have Hillary. You remember at the last episode, Hillary did this real sexy, kind of seductive video because she was crunched for time. She couldn't do the video that she wanted to, so she had to do something that was going to go viral. And so she did this really sexy video. We see Aunt Viv seeing the video, and possibly Aunt Viv said something to Hillary about who she is and who she isn't. And then Hillary is telling Kylo, who is the head of the influencer house, that she wants that video taken down. We see old light skin, aka Reed, which is played by Michael Ealy. We see him whining and dining Aunt Viv. We also see 007 Jeffrey telling Philip that Reed is the person who you need to worry about because he has quite the reputation. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with that because, Uncle Phil is always on it. He always senses something ain't right. And so he got his hitter, Jeffrey, to figure out what ain't right. So then we hear Will talking to Carlton. Apparently, we hear Carlton saying to Will, "You're going to turn the whole school against me." Will saying, "You don't need them. You're your old man. You don't need them." And he says, "I've got a way to turn this around. You're going to throw the party of the century." And then we see them doing this big old party. And then we see Will and Lisa. Well, we first hear Lisa ask Will his deep, dark secrets. Then we see her and Will kissing and stuff, and Will asking her was she sure about this. So I don't know if we're going to see a little sex scene or not, but something's about to happen. We don't know. So let's talk about this. And so this is going into what I think my predictions are going to be for this next episode, yeah. And let me be very clear. We're going to start with Aunt Viv, Reed, and Uncle Phil, a.k.a. Yamacraw. What we're seeing is, I think Reed has a reputation for whining and dining and getting into the the intimate areas of a woman, because what happened is you do have men who are very skilled in that. They will definitely get down here and tell you all your what you believe your desires are and make you feel a certain way and tap into that. And then before you know it, you get so caught up. I don't want to make it seem like both parties don't have responsibilities in it all. But I do know that you can get so caught up in it before you know it. There's an intimacy, not necessarily sex, but there is an intimacy. And then what happens with a character like Reed, he has you in this intimate situation, and then he moves in and gets sex out of you. And then he seems like he would then blackmail you. I don't know about blackmailing you for money, but he will blackmail you to do what he wants you to do in this situation. And I think that's what's going to happen. He's gonna try Vivian. And because Phil is gonna mess up in the beginning, he's gonna mess up and kind of make light of her wanting to get back and doing her artwork. And then he's going to mess up, and then old Reed is going to just worm his way in there. And I think at that point, he's going to get Jeffrey to go figure out, who is this guy? Why is he making moves on my wife? And then Jeffrey's going to come back with the business, and he's going to say, my man, take care of that. And old Jeffrey's going to take care of that. So then let's get into the Lisa, Carlton, Will, and her father dynamic, right? So we found out on the last episode, which was episode 6, that Lisa's father, Fred Wilkes, is running for DA. He put his hand in the race. So apparently he must have his degree, or he may have done like Kim Kardashian and took the baby bar and took all that information, because I think in California you don't have to be a member. You don't have to have gone to law school to be a member of the bar. So possibly he did that, or maybe he does have his law degree. We don't know. But he's running for district attorney, and so he tells Lisa that she needs to pull back from the banks so that he can run for the bar. He can run because he feels like it's going to get messy. I predict Lisa's going to tell him, no, these are my friends. Just because you decided to run against your friend for office doesn't mean that I have to mess up my ties for my family for you. I think that's basically what she's going to say to him. I also predict inadvertently Will is going to tell Lisa why he left Philly. And inadvertently, Lisa's going to tell her father why Will left Philly. And that is going to impact Philip Banks' campaign. Now, if Vivian tells Philip about Fred Wilkes and his affair with old stepmommy, I think it's Angela. Is it Angela? Yes, Angela. If she tells that, they're going to have two family stuff going on, and which one is going to look worse in the public, with the public eye. Don't know. That's going to be up to the citizens of Los Angeles to vote. We see Carlton, because in the last episode, Carlton was very vulnerable with Will, particularly because he was taking those drugs. Now, what caught me on that last episode is that I couldn't read if Uncle Phil knew that Carlton had just snorted or whatever, but he did mention his anxiety, which is true. Carlton does suffer from anxiety. I think he suffers from high functioning anxiety, and it does get to him after a while. Now, whether or not that he figures out that he is snorting the Xanax or not is a whole different thing. I am trying to figure out how I feel about that, because if it's a prescription medication that you're supposed to get, y'all help me out with this, because I'm confused. If it's something that he's supposed to take, does the way he take the medication matter, or is it because he's snorting it that he's using more than what's prescribed per day for the prescription. I am a little in my head. I'm not understanding. It would make more sense if he was snorting cocaine along with the Xanax. But if he is snorting the Xanax, so if y'all got a medical degree out here, y'all help me out and let me know, because because if he's taking the medication, then that's the medication that's going to be in his system. So is it something I'm missing in regards to the way that he's snorting the Xanax, which makes it bad, or is it like a rush real quick and then it come down? Y'all let me know down in the comments, because I'm really a little confused about that. I do know you can get addicted to certain medications that are dealing with anxiety, but I am confused on how the story is trying to spin this. Is it because he's taking the drugs, or do you think that he's going to graduate from taking the Xanax to taking something else? Because I thought when we first started this thing that he was snorting cocaine, but as I went back through, he was saying that he was doing his prescribed medication, but he was. And what's the effects? I don't know those things. But anyway, if you know anything about that, please leave that down in the comments, because we're gonna continue on. We see in the trailer that Will and Lisa look like they are about to get into a sexual relationship, kiss and be in a sexual relationship. Don't know if that's gonna happen or not. We finna find out. However, don't know how Cartman's gonna feel about all of this. We don't know how this. So my prediction for episode 7 is we gonna see Reed. We're gonna see Uncle Phil step to Reed. I think we're gonna see Uncle Phil step to Reed in a way that's not gonna put a problem on his campaign. Or we're gonna see Uncle Phil step to Reed, and then Reed is gonna be diabolical and go talk to another campaign about Phil in an effort to try to show Vivian that Phil is one way and she should be wary of her husband. And we hope that Vivian don't fall for that. We hope we don't fall for that. I do think how Uncle Phil got Will off is going to be a problem within his campaign. I think that is just a prediction that we see that's going to happen. That how Uncle Phil got Will off, Fred Wilkes is going to really stomp Phil with that. I think he's really going to stomp Phil with that. Let's see. We had in there with Hillary. I think Hillary's going to go back home. I think Kylo is going to do or say something to Hillary, which is going to cause some issues and some problems. And I think, once again, we're going to have Jeffrey having to deal with Kylo. Because, like I said, Hillary is trying to do things that she needs to do to stay viral. And I think she did what she did because it was in a crunch. She was just in a crunch to get something out there, and she really didn't plan it right. She couldn't use what she was doing for her folks as something to go viral, because that, people don't care anything about an election or anything like that in terms of social media clicks and views, unless something happened. Now, if she had gotten Angela, her mama going off on Angela, that may have gone viral. That may have been a great viral moment for her. But it had nothing to do with herself and her cooking or anything like that. So, that's the trailer. So let's talk about these predictions. Prediction. Let's talk about Uncle Phil and Uncle Phil's aspirations to be DA of Los Angeles. I don't think he's going to win that. I really don't think he's going to win. I think his views are going to come across to his donors and to some of the people as being too leftist. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think Fred is going to win either. I think whoever else is running is going to be the person that's going to win. But they're not talking about another candidate, which is odd. They should be talking about another candidate and that candidate doing some things as well. Or maybe the current DA is the only other person that's running. I think he's going to lose. However, the sentiment and the number of votes that he got is going to make the state look at him as far as being a judge. So, because, you know, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Uncle Phil was a judge. So this iteration of Uncle Phil, I think, is what's going to happen. I predict that they're going to follow that thing, that he's not going to win. He's not going to be the DA. But he is going to get a judgeship out of this. His campaign and what he stands for is going to get a judgeship out of this whole situation. I think with Fred Wilkes, I think in the campaign, he's going to pull out what happened to Will and inadvertently cause some issues for Will, but not enough that somebody from Philly is going to come get him. But it's people's perception of Will is going to change, because in LA no one knows anything about that, so he's able to recreate who he is. But I do think that there's going to be some problems with that. I think with Aunt Viv, she is going to have some issues with Reed. And it's going to be some intimacy issues. I don't see Aunt Viv being sexual with Reed, but I think that the boundaries is going to, so there might be a kiss. There's going to be, you know, some blurring of the boundaries. And I do think that Uncle Phil is going to stomp their head. He's going I don't think he's going to go to the point where he's going to get rid of him or snuff him out, have Jeffrey snuff him out. But I do think it's going to be to the point where it's going to affect his relationship with Aunt Viv, because her intertwining herself with Reed is going to cause some issues with her creative side is still going to come out, but I think it's going to cause some issues of how she's going to get her work out there. So I think that that's going to be a problem. I can't. What is his name? Another prediction, but it's not mine. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to figure out what this guy's name is, and I'm going to put it down here if I can figure out. But he made the prediction because, you know, at some point, Aunt Viv had a baby, remember little Nikki. So there might be a baby coming pretty soon. And maybe there's going to be an issue whose baby is little Nikki. Is it Reed's or is it Uncle Phil's? I mean, if we're going to go there, we're going to go there. It's not my prediction, but it was interesting in itself. I was like, wait a minute. I hadn't thought about that. But if it does get sexual, I don't think it's going to get sexual. My prediction that it's not going to get sexual. It's going to get intimate, but it's not going to get sexual. But if it does, then that's a good plot. Like, whose baby is little Nikki? Who, little Nick? You remember little Nick? Whose baby is it? So, but that's just a prediction. But like I said, it wasn't... talking about that as far as with little Nick, I didn't think about that because I had almost forgot about that baby. But that is if it does get intimate and then it gets sexual, then that is a good question. Whose baby is it? And will Jeffrey find this out? I think it'll be a little situation where Jeffrey finds them having sex, and then he's conflicted because does he tell Philip or does he not tell Philip? Let me stop. Let me see. Hillary and Jazz. I do think that there is going to be a connection. However, you remember we had Trevor in the Fresh Prince. So is Trevor coming? Because we've already seen Trey come. So is Trevor coming? And who and why and will be this alteration of Trevor? Because you remember last Hillary in the Fresh Prince, she was just ditzy and airhead and just really, really rich. But this Hillary has purpose in what she's doing. So I'm wondering who is going to be her Trevor. Interesting. And then there's going to be a triangle between Hillary, Trevor, and Jazz. I think Trevor is going to come across great for her in the eyes of her father and her mother. But Jazz is the person who is going to have her heart. That's what I think. We may not see that this season, but I am making a prediction for next season. That's what's going to happen for Hillary. For Ashley, I her little heart was broken because Lucia is not into her. Lucia is into Will. And I think Lucia, the issues that's going to happen with Lucia is going to be so into them that it's going to be a situation where maybe Lucia sends Will some pictures of herself in a compromising position. Or maybe Lucia tells everybody that she's having a relationship with Will and nobody believes, because I believe Ashley is in junior high, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if she's like in the 8th or the 9th grade, somewhere in there. She's in junior high school. So I think that there may be an issue in between with that. We may see Ashley with another young lady that has identified to either be homosexual or bisexual, and she may start a relationship with Ashley, and she may be a tad older. So if Ashley's in the 8th grade, this girl may be in the 10th grade or something to that measure or something like that. We may find and see something along the lines with Ashley. With Carlton is so conflicted in his identity and in who he believes himself to be, and him believing that he does not have the approval of his father. I think in some terms there's going to be a bottoming out, because this with this Xanax and this stuff, either he is going to graduate to the cocaine and then not be able to get into the places that he needs to get into, or it's going to be something, because I think the drug usage, the Xanax, the way he is ingesting the Xanax is going to become a problem. Somebody's going to see him do it, and then I think it may hurt his father's campaign. So those are my quick predictions. So what are you all thinking about this show? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? What is it that you all are thinking? So I'm just basically looking at it as it's a really good I like it that it's different from the original, because you see a lot of reboots, and basically what they do is basically do the same thing that the original did. But this reboot as a drama, something a little bit more serious, catches my eye. It has I think you can do more character development with these young people with this iteration of Fresh Prince. It's more character development. I really hate that they had killed off the drug dealer in Philly. I would have loved to seen some tension or something like that with that. But I guess them killing them off and Will choosing to stay in California, we're going to see Will's character blossom. Wait a minute. Wait one doggone minute. I'm still trying to figure out what was the problem between Vi and Vivian. And what's going on, because Will says his father left at 4. So I am wondering, this is my prediction of what happened. I think Will's father got into some trouble, and Philip tried to defend him, and he either went to jail, or it caused a conflict or a problem, or maybe Will's father tried to hit on Vivian. And Viola got upset about all of that, because whatever happened, Will's father left it for. And it was to the point where Vivian was not close with her sister for a very, very long time. And you know that there's another sister somewhere around here. So we may see another sister show up, because I remember on the first episode there was three sisters. 3 Smith sisters. So we may see we may see them come up and do some things like that. So, but y'all let me know. Y'all, this show, I'm just enjoying this show. I can't wait till next Thursday for the next episode, but this is just going to be a filler in between. What do y'all think? Y'all leave it down below in the comments. Let me know what your predictions are for each of these characters. You don't have to go into all the characters, just whatever your favorite character is. What's your prediction for that character? What's your prediction about why Will's father left? Why Will's father left? What's your prediction? Do you think Will's father is going to show up this season or next season? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Can't sing, baby, so I'm just going to give you that little piece. Let me know. And we will see you all next week for episode 7 of Bel Air. And as always, people, bye-bye.